In the future, our planet has turned into a giant water park. Huge cities float on the ocean surface, moving from place to place in search of rare resources. People have long since forgotten about life on land. They say that the sun is just a myth and the earth is nothing but fairy tales. But it's not true. At this point, humanity is at its wit's end. Resources are running out and people are fighting more and more often. And then comes the last straw. From beyond the stars, they see us and decide that we're their long-awaited salvation. I'm sorry, did I say salvation? I meant doom. Meet the Sintra, a race whose skin is made of pure energy. They can turn any energy source into a weapon. If you add a little magic to it, then it'll be completely unstoppable. With one snap of their fingers, they can drain all the energy from a huge megapolis and leave it without light and air. Our only hope is the union of an unusual couple, the robot Ripple and the girl inventor Kira. Now let's talk about Ripple. Ripple is one of the last robots that were created to protect the cities from pirates and monsters of the deep sea. He's like a Terminator, only unlike the Terminator, he doesn't kill anyone. His main task is to keep everyone safe and sound. But unfortunately, his programming is still imperfect. Sometimes he makes mistakes. Once he almost sank an entire city because he thought it was under attack by a kraken. Another time he blew up a pirate ship, just because he didn't like the way they looked at him. Ripple is big, strong, and fast. It's impossible to defeat him in hand-to-hand combat, but it's precisely this powerful robot that becomes the key to saving the entire planet. But let's get things straight. Who am I talking about? Okay, so Ripple is a lonely robot. He patrols the seas in an underwater city called Atlantis, which serves as a refuge for those fleeing from the floating cities. Now about Kira. She's just 14 years old, but she's already a famous hacker and engineer. She can find vulnerabilities even in the most complex technologies, whether it's a bank server or an aircraft carrier. This girl literally knows everything about everything. Although she's just a child, she is brave enough to stand up for what she believes in, and stubborn enough to stick to her guns. Plus she has a great sense of humor. Kira lives in one of the few remaining settlements on dry land. Together with her friends, she scavenges parts from wrecked ships and other machinery, selling them to the highest bidder. But soon, the life of the resourceful teenager will change dramatically. So when the Centrals came to the Earth, chaos erupted in the cities. People desperately tried to defend themselves, but no one could stand up to the energy weapons of the aliens. Entire skyscrapers were vaporized. Islands disappeared from the face of the earth along with those who lived there. Panic seized the people. No one knew what to do next. Even the army was powerless against the enemy. Meanwhile, one of the reconnaissance drones sent by the Synthesis noticed the underwater city of Atlantis. The alien decided to check it out personally and dived into the depths. Fortunately, the aliens didn't know that Ripple was patrolling nearby. Otherwise, he would have dealt with the intruder right away. The robot swims at incredible speed. He can easily reach the pursued in just a few seconds and deliver a powerful kick that will send even a shark to the bottom. But this time, Ripple's scanners picked up something strange. The object seemed to be alive. Although it wasn't hostile, he decided to take it to the surface. On the surface, the drone crashed into Kira's workshop. Startled, the girl watched as the machine broke apart right before her eyes, revealing an extraterrestrial guest inside. Kira has seen a lot of strange things in her life, but this was something else entirely. At first she thought it was some kind of joke, but when she saw the weapon in the hands of the stunned Citra, she realized she was facing a serious problem. So she did what she does best. While distracting the alien with small talk, she hacked into his suit and began draining the energy shield. The energy shield is gone. What should I do? Think quickly, Kira. You don't want to find out what's hiding under the armor. Kira took a chance. She sent a signal to all mobile devices in the area, calling for help. Soon, the girl was joined by her friends Dingo and Bo. Together, they make a pretty good team. Dingo is a former military man. He lost his arm in a battle with pirates. In his spare time, he tinkers in his garage, creating new types of weapons. Bo is a master of disguise and deception. For some reason, everyone constantly calls him a liar, by the way. He really likes this name. Okay, back to the matter at hand. Dingo and Bo were shocked by what they saw. Have you ever heard of aliens visiting your town? No? Well, here you go. Dingo immediately got to work, setting up an ambush nearby. Meanwhile, Bo distracted the sentinel, pretending to be a handsome ladies' man. I must say that the Centos are very proud and arrogant creatures. To their dismay, they underestimated the ingenuity of the Earthlings. When the moment came, Dina fired a harpoon gun. Yes, you heard right, a harpoon gun. This is a special weapon designed specifically for aquatic vehicles. It shoots harpoons that stick to the target and explode on a timer. One of the harpoons hit the Sentra, but he simply shrugged it off as if it were a bee sting. Our guys had to change their tactics. Kira came up with a plan. She asked the Sintra to take her to his ship. She said she wanted to show him something. Of course, the extraterrestrial warrior didn't suspect anything. In fact, Kira had already hacked into the ship's systems and turned on all the defense mechanisms. When she returned to the surface, she received a message from the robot Ripple. He informed her that he had dealt with the rest of the Sintra. The girl immediately realized that she was in great danger. The alien could attack at any moment and she wouldn't be able to hide on the ground. At that moment, her only hope was Ripple. He was strong enough to protect her while she finished hacking into the ship. But how could she contact him? The Sentinel noticed the girl's excitement and decided to intimidate her. He raised his weapon and prepared to strike. But before he had time to pull the trigger, a robotic arm grabbed him by the neck and pulled him towards the ocean. Ripple had arrived. The robot dragged the alien closer to the coast, giving Kira enough time to finish her work. She sent a signal to the Marine, asking him to wait. Then she turned on the holographic projector, creating a copy of herself that lured the Sentinel further into the sea. As soon as he was far enough away, she deactivated the image and activated the self-destruct mechanism. The ship exploded. Ripple, seeing this, released the Sentinel and hurried to save the girl. But it was too late. Kira perished, along with the ship. The Marine was overcome with grief. He didn't want to believe that the girl was dead. He kept tossing and turning on the shore all night, hoping to wake up from it all. When the sun finally rose, he went back into the sea. After all, he had a job to do. He had to protect the people. There would be many more adventures, meetings, and partings ahead. But that's a story for another time. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and hit the like button. And now catch you in the next episode.